Yo, 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 what is going on, IK Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today we are back again giving you guys some more of that good in the hood quality information education. Today, we are going to be taking a look at the KvK 2s for the groups, giving you some updates and how they're going, along with taking a look at the map layout, seeing if there's any kind of standout moments, visuals, mails, messages that we're able to depict, as well as depending on how deep we end up diving. But this is just going to be our first look. I haven't actually gone through to see what the updates are, at least since the level 1 passes have opened. All right, but let's go ahead and take a look. I think right now we're actually on server 1. Before we do a full deep dive, make sure you guys sub, like, ring the notification bell. Of course, if you want to join and be a part of our conversation, hit up our Discord. You can find that in the pinned comment and description down below. All right, so here we go. Now let's first start off addressing the group itself. Gesundheit. And we have KvK Group 1, which is comprised of S3, 28, 18, 25, 26, 1, 13, and 24. So our account being 1, you can see us here. Or excuse me. Oh, no, that's what it is. 1 is top right corner, but just 26 has taken over pretty much everything here. So again, 1 has, looks like 1 city left. No pun intended. But it looks like 26 came in, took that, and then we have over here 13 went down bottom right, ended up taking 2 cities from whoever is bottom right, which is 24. And it looks like they also went west 2 as well and took 3 cities here from 18. And then you have 28 that was able to come out. They took a couple of their cities as well, looks like 2. And then we have top left, which really hasn't done anything. This is 3. So they have, doesn't look like they've taken a city, at least so far. KvK 1 is actually pretty, it looks like pretty standard. I wonder if any gates have been taken. Yeah, so a gate here on the adjacent side, 26 to 3 has been, and then 28 to 3, only 1 each, which when you think about it, you know, logically, especially with the level increases for how much stronger now the garrisons are, along with the wall durability for pretty much all cities and gates or passes, it makes sense to kind of take 1 and then see what your opponents will do, right? There's no need to kind of burn your troops and go through the wall durability and gates, kind of burning all that AP and just taking some of the additional troop loss when you can just take 1 gate and then, you know, funnel in appropriately, right? The only reason you would really take the additional gates is if you just ideally want the first occupation rewards, right? But the challenge is that once you do that, you have to rebuild the garrisons back up. So again, it makes sense to just kind of take 1 at a time. So again, this is pretty standard for what we're seeing. Let's see if there's any, I'm just curious if there's any back talking going on in Legion chat. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Creator says come out of hiding. This was from the 19th, so this was what, 20, about 4 hours ago? Come out. It's true not to answer. This guy is just going in. Just big. Let's see here. Some people are like, I want hugs. Oh, here we go. Pouring on me and not even debubbling. Piffed. Oh. So I'm trying to bring them back. Too bad they are missing in the void right now. Oh, it's messed up. I see where we're going here. Hot chips. Let me see. My troops have chips though. I'm in on the celebrations. He's trying to court you. All right, it looks like some people are trying to get married. With that being said, again, interesting take. Let me see if there's any server. Okay, nope, I don't see any server mails that have been sent. All right, cool. Let's move on to the next group. We're going to load up our S2 account here. Just got to get some solid scrolling to the bottom. Nice. And then we're going to take a look at KvK Group 2 and see how that is developing. Should have poured more water. Right, but again, overall, right, those are some of the leaders. Obviously, we haven't seen what's going to happen at the next Zone 2 gate push as well. That is something to consider. Let's bring this bad boy over. Okay. And just to kind of show that off, right? So again, we have the Zone 1 gates, but nothing so far for the 14s, right? We'll show you guys these real quick. So the Zone 2 gates here are going to open a little less than 4 days, right? So again, we'll probably do another update either before or right after that ends up happening. But let's go ahead and show this group off here, because again, this is going to be KvK group 2, and this is going to be comprised of 4, 9, 2, 15, 17, 10, 19, and 11. Okay, so now in this group, I know I didn't really talk about it too much on the last one, right? But again, we knew the standouts there being server 26, 25, 28, and 13, right? Those are pretty much where the top 4 groups, the top 4 kingdoms in that server, and those are pretty much the ones that we're seeing, right, with the most amount. And then for KvK group 2, right, the standouts here that we had were 19, 4, 15, and 9. Those are the top 4 based on power. However, this group is a lot closer in power than KvK group 1, right? There's less than 100 mil power difference between the top kingdom and the bottom kingdom, right? With the top only being 186 mil, right? This was for their active power, the stats that we took in the beginning. So again, we'll show you, or excuse me, we did show that. So let's look now at kind of who has what. So we got 17 branched out right. They have 1 city. We have, I wonder if I can see, oh man, I got to show you guys these two as well with the faction details, right? Like who's really winning right now in faction power. I'll make sure we do that for the remainder of the groups. I totally forgot that was something I wanted to try and do. But you can see here, right, 44 to 80 cities have been occupied, checkpoints 5 out of 76. You can see at least in the faction power right now that 17 is winning it out, right? They got 1 pass, 8 cities. You got 11, 4, and 19, right? So we got, so 17 is the number 5 kingdom in this group. 11 is the number 7 kingdom in this group, right? They're tied with 4, which is the number 2 kingdom. Remember, our top 4 kingdoms in this group is 19, 4, 15, and 9. So 19, 15, and 9. So 15 and 9 being number 2 and number 4, they're ranked 6 and 7, respectively, at least in the faction power. Now, again, that could be for, you know, a few different reasons as well, just depending on what their matchups are looking like. But you can see here, right, 17 has 1 city. We got 19 didn't cap their 13, even though they did cap this one at Misteltein, but they opted for the branch out here, top right, which is in 10's corner. And then we have 11 with BXS, they took theirs. We got S15, or Server 15, they took 4. And we have 2 hanging out here in theirs, and then we have 9, right, with top. So the only kingdom so far that has, or the only two that have branched out so far is 19 and 17, right? But we have a few here, and it's interesting. Have they taken passes? Okay. So pink has this pass going into 17. No pass here has been taken, which if you think about it is somewhat, I mean, you can make the argument this is actually like an okay tactic, because if you don't take a pass, you're not expending resources, right? So your flank is kind of covered, so to speak, because your pass hasn't been captured. So if you don't really have anything going on with the adjacent kingdom, right, whether you're planning to attack, or you know they're coming to attack, or you guys are just kind of feeling each other out, you know, then it actually might be okay to leave this neutral, you know, for a time being. It's just, again, allows you to kind of focus elsewhere. But given how we're seeing this KvK so far, it doesn't actually look like anything's really happening on an invasion. Again, there's nothing really going down here. No gates have been taken, right? So 9 is kind of just chilling. And then you have here with 2, no passes have been taken from 2 on their north side or their east side. When we look at 15, West Pass hasn't been taken. However, BXS did take 1 city here going into 15. They also took 1 pass here going into 19. 19 took 1 pass going out over here to top right. And then same thing with 17. They took 1 here. But again, I mean, this kind of seems pretty subtle, right? It doesn't really seem like there's a whole bunch going on for KvK Group 2. But let's take a look at Legion chat. Just see if there's anything popping off. Definitely need some more water. I can already feel it coming. GG Sam. Oh, I have to do a bunch of translations. Let's see here. Talking about pearls. abundantly. Go guys, exchange valid codes, valid code. Anyone trade honor? Wow, Legion chat is all about honor. Okay, I mean, I feel like that probably summarizes where we're looking at KvK Group 2. And of course, let me know if you're in KvK Group 2 and you're one of these kingdoms, like how is your group going, right? Is it kind of more we're singing Kumbaya at this point? You know, maybe there's only one or two kingdoms that are really trying to go after and get some extra stuff. I mean, obviously, I'd love to know. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to move on to our next here, which is going to be server 5. And this should be, let's see here. And we'll pop this up for S5. This is going to be group 3. And again, we'll show you guys the faction power charts. We'll take a look at the map. And then we'll pop up Legion chat and just go back, you know, up until like one cycle to see what might be popping off. All right. Let's go ahead and pop it out here. And again, we'll intro, of course, as we always do, right, with the groups. Oh my God, it's dying. Sorry, Lord. Okay, here we go. Well, I'm slightly surviving. Okay, we got 37, 33, 22, 5, 23, 7, 6, and 27. And here for group 3, we got the big dogs here that we're looking at. As server 6, 33, 23, and 5. Right, so we got the power gap here pretty much at, what is that, 420 million difference between the strongest and the weakest, where the top two being 6 and 33 are pretty close in power. Then you have the next set at 23 and 5. So let's look here at how the faction power is doing. So we got 6, 5, that's number 1 and number 4, 33 and 23. So the top 4 strongest kingdoms, right, are at least top 4 on the faction power boards. However, 27, being the number 5 strongest kingdom in this group, is also tied with 23. Right, and you can see here 7 cities, 7, right, but you got some of the extras here with some additional cities and a couple with some additional passes. Okay. So now let's look at how the map looks. So we got 23 is just chilling. Ooh, here we go. We got 6. That's going north into 7. Looks like they've taken 2 cities. We got 27 just kind of chilling themselves. Server 5 MG going west over here, breaking into 22. They've taken 2 cities. We look at green for 33, and they've gone north here to take 2 cities from BS, or excuse me, from 37 territory. Let's look at how the passes look here. So we start at the top. We got 1 pass to the left, so 23 has taken at least 1 pass left, 1 pass right, right? We're seeing that trend, right? And it makes sense just because of how much of the buffs have came out. Now we look at 7. Doesn't look like they've taken a pass at the moment, but they could have had one and maybe just had it counter taken. So in this case, we see that 6 has pushed up north. It doesn't look like, however, 6, it looks like they're going into 23, maybe. But we'll have to see how that develops. Because again, right, I would imagine a lot of kingdoms are trying to prep right now for when the Zone 2 gates are going to open, which is only a couple days away, right? So you might see 1 or 2 more city grounds, but I would imagine most people are probably going to be focusing on retraining troops and healing up by now at this point, so they can prep to have as much full training grounds when it comes to Zone 2 in a couple days. Then we look here at bottom right for 27. They actually haven't taken a pass to their left. However, S6 did come here, so there could be some invading going on. I mean, if they want to do a little bit of pickings, maybe they try and take one of S5's eastern gates. But S5 is nice because they don't really have to worry about their flank, right? They can kind of focus going west over here into 22. Again, they've taken 2 cities here. If we look here to 33... 22 again hasn't taken a north gate, but again 33 has taken a southern and a north. They actually took 2 passes here, somewhat uncommon because we haven't seen that happen so far yet, right? This is the first kingdom out of the first 3 groups where they have taken more than 1 pass on one of their sides. So they took that, went into 37. They have 2 cities there. Doesn't really look like 37. You know, probably just, I think with their rank, they're 7th here at 98 mil. They only have 1 active alliance. So, I mean, again, that's going to be challenging for them to try and back out of, or I should say, make some ground up from. Okay, let's take a look at Legion chat. Okay. Comes some tile hitters in here. Okay. Dude, who doesn't like tile hitters? When do we attack the guys on the side of the wall? Let's see. Small brains. Ooh, shots are being fired. Simple and complicated equals whoever had brain on his head can think why and because. Ooh, it's a little spicy. Excuse me. Any server 5R5 online. Interesting. This is the thing that gets me, right? And I just want a brief point out. Why not? This is the thing, dude. Why do you need to ask that? You could easily go in to the server and just see if any of the R5s posted there, or you just wait and see if any of the R5s posted in the chat and just DM them, right? I mean, I guess it just depends. I mean, it's just, I guess it's one of those things. I kind of view it like, I don't really kind of always want to put my business out there in public, so to speak. Like if you want to talk about, something official, and I understand maybe, they don't care, so to speak, but, I like to try and be discreet, when it's appropriate. Again, don't know how anyone else feels about that. That's just, I think there's a little bit of professional courtesy as well. Let's see here. Okay, that's the first cycle. Yeah, okay. Nothing really big popping off. Just a little bit of salt. Always nice to see some. Okay, next we're going to take a look at here is S31. Oops, I went too far. Okay, cool. So S31 is going to be group 4. And we're going to be about a quarter of the way through, and I'm at 16. Cool, awesome. So this might be about 45 minutes. I'm trying to keep it to about 5 minutes. 4 to 5 minutes of Kingdom, and just to make sure that, we're giving everyone some love. All right. I should call my dog in here to come give me some water. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at KvK Group 4. We're going to start off, of course, by showing. And let's see here. So we got 42, 31, 32, 34, 44, 51, 49, 53. So in this group, right, we got 8 here as the... Oh, wait, hold up. This is 5. Why am I at 5? Did I, really power through these? And I'm just, totally crazy here? 2, 5... Ooh, that's what I missed. No wonder. I'm like, what am I doing? I bypassed. I should have went to S8. Excuse me. All right, there we go. A little nasty. Let's go ahead and go to 8. So now we're actually in group 4. I was like, man, this looks so weird. Why am I looking at the wrong group? But again, this is definitely going to be somewhat of a powerhouse group, right? Because we have S8 and 16 here, right? Which, when we last did our top server vid for top 25, right? 8 was the number 2. We had 16 as number 7. So that's something to keep in mind, right? 2 top 10 kingdoms. And again, we'll show this to you off here. Now it says for us. We got 14, 21, 36, 8, 12, 20, 16, and 58. And then again, we'll look here. Let's look at faction power. So S16. Wow. Okay. They're doing a lot. Wow, this is shocking to me because... Yeah, wow. 21, I could see that. 21 is the 3rd strongest kingdom, but they have the strongest individual player who was at the time 291, almost 292k, right? 2nd strongest was in 16, and then 3rd being an 8 at 282, and then respectively 280k for troop power. So that is interesting when we kind of look at some of those, if they might be factoring into any of that. But 16, overwhelming here with the faction power. 21-8. Yeah, I would just, wow, okay. So we got 8, 16, 21, 36. Those are the strongest, right? 12 is ranked number 5, but they're pretty close there with 36. It's not like that's a wide gap. Okay, so here we go now. Let's start right. So 16, okay. So again, right, they ended up pushing up and going northeast, which is into 20, and then bottom 58 they did as well. So you can see they got 2 cities there. I'm sure they're probably going to keep trying to push a little bit more. We got S8, Lion. They ended up grabbing 1 there and 1 west going into 36. Oh, man, interesting stuff. Okay, only 3 here for 58 now. 36 only with 6. We got 21 here, right, as the 3rd strongest kingdom. They ended up pushing north and going into FON, or excuse me, into 14. They have what looks like to be 4 of their cities. And then we got 12, who's the number 5 strongest kingdom. They really haven't done anything. Let's see how the gates look. Okay. So we got 21 that has a gate going into 12. Then we have 16 with one gate, and then 12 with one gate going out. Now this is interesting to me because, again, right, like remember, S8 and 16 are the strongest, right? Wow. So S8 actually took all three of their gates. They're like first occupation rewards or bust pimping. Like, damn, that's intense. So the first time we've seen that, right? The only other time we did was with two of them, with two gates from group 3, the last group. When we look here, even for 16, right? 16 has taken 2. They've taken 4 gates, but 8 has taken 6 of their gates. Like, man, some beast over there in 8, dude. They're just like, we don't care. We're doing it. All right. And then we have 21 took 1 gate. They took 2, both sides. It is interesting, at least now that I'm looking at this, because I'm looking at the boards, right? And I see 8 here. Again, I wonder what the matchup is, because 16 is just taking so much more than 8 is. I wonder if 8 and 16 are fighting. If that's something that's going on, and maybe top right just didn't really do anything, and then maybe the reason why 12 hasn't done anything is maybe because 16 and 12 could be working together, right? Because you haven't seen any of their cities been taken yet. And so maybe they're helping fight off 21, and that could be a thing if they're allied, because they just need to have one. But the problem too is that they don't have a gate yet, right? So that would obviously help them getting here into the territory. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I wonder if it could be like 8 and 21 together, maybe, and then maybe it's like 16, 12, and like everyone else. I don't know. I'm just spitballing, kind of based on how the map looks, how long it's been since the level 1 passes, adjacent passes have been open, and then again, kind of how the map looks as well. Let's see if there's anything in Legion chat. Might give us a little bit of a lol. GG, who farted? I mean, just classic stuff here, man. Wow. Spice Girls, that's cool. I like Spice Girls. It was a good movie, right? If you wanna be my lover, gotta get with your friend. I don't know the lyrics. If that's spot on, then I'm gonna take 2 points for that. Playing CDs on the Walkman. All right, let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the next group. Here, finally making the right call now for 31. But if you are in KvK Group 4, right, let me know how it's going there, right? What do the ally matchups look like, right? Are there any unions there for the kingdoms? Is it really just a free-for-all, right? Let me know on everything down in those comments below, so we can take a little bit of an inside peek from someone who's playing there on what those are. Okay, now we get into Group 5. And I might actually try to speed these up a little bit too, because what am I at, 23? Okay, so we're going to make up a few minutes here. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off here with Group 5. Group 5, we got 42, 31, 32, 34, 44, 51, 49, and 53, right? Top 4 groups here are going to be 49, 32, 42, and 44, right? Power gap here is, what do we at, 2? Is that 2? Yeah, 220, 230, so almost 230, about 228 for the power between strongest and weakest kingdom, just based on active alliance estimates. And we have 49 here, right? Strongest here next to 32. Again, all of this group is really close to as well. I mean, it's really 51 and 53 that are like a little bit of the drop off at 7 and 8, and that kind of shows their positioning as well. But you got 49, who's number 1, 34, who is actually number 6 strongest. Interesting. 31 fifth strongest, and then you have 44, which is the 4th strongest. So 32 and 42, which is the number 2 strongest kingdom and number 3 strongest kingdom, are sitting at 5 and 6 on the faction boards. So let's see. 49 has branched out. They've gone north, taken 3. They've taken 3 going south, going into 53. 34 has actually gone west, wow, into 32, which is interesting because 34, like we said, is rank 6, 32 is rank number 2, at least for this group based on active power. And then it looks like maybe a stalemate. Let's see how the passes look here. So we got 1 pass here for 49 going north. Doesn't look like they've attempted one of those. yet. And then we have 49 over here. Wow, okay, so they have made it into 34, which is the number 6. That could potentially be... Okay, so they've got in... Wow, okay. So this is interesting. So look at the jump here. Right, this is why it's always good to pay attention to like how you're tracking. So 34, or excuse me, 49 being the strongest, was able to make it all the way over here, right, to get into 31. Now, depending on who the allies are, wow, so they basically just did a flank jump. That is super interesting right now. So, God, I really wonder what's happening. I mean, this just seems like a lot of work, right? Like, you capped this to get past 34. You make it into... Right, so maybe your allies with 34, maybe you're not, but you were able to make it into 32. You cap the gate from 32 to 31. You get in to 31. Maybe you're allied with 31, or you capped it and they retook, and you were able to make it here into 42, and then you took the pass going into 44. Or I could just be looking at it the opposite way, but this is just... Yeah, I don't know, man. This is wild, like what I'm seeing here, right? Because the other way of playing it is that they're allies with 44. They use this. They captured this so they could get access here. Yeah, I don't know. If you're... I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm like spitballing with potential tactical strategies. I'm like, what am I looking at? You know, what's actually happening? I'd have to spend a little more time here dissecting, I think. But if you are in this group, right, let me know what's going on, right? This is a little wild to me. I'd love a little bit of backstory here in the comments below. Who are the allies? What do the matchups look like? That would be awesome to see. But again, right, this group definitely looks like there is some activity here. I mean, I probably should have shown off some of the rankings. Strongest shoot power now 304. Alliances 3149. Strong alliances 2.6. Shinsei. Ooh, that's what I should have done. I should have been showing you guys Legion's mark, right? One power. Ooh, and honor. So we can show you like who the top fighters are in each group. I'll make sure we do that for the next ones. I totally missed an opportunity on doing that. 49 fighting their butts off. Wow. Oh man, bunch of Legion's mark. Yeah, I think honor is probably more appropriate to go off of. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at the next group, which is gonna be, what do I need to look at? 30. Yeah, we'll look at S30. Okay, cool. Attempting to go a little faster. So let me see where we're at right now. What am I at? 28. Okay, I gotta make up 2 minutes. Okay, so we're almost halfway through. We're looking at group 6 now. I'm totally parched, if you can't tell. It's a rough life right now. Daddy's not doing well. Okay, whoa, damn, oh my god. Okay, here we go, group 6. Let's see how we're looking. So we got Kingdoms 55, 56, 50, 52, 40, 30, 46, and 35. So top Kingdoms here is going to be 40, 52, 56, and 46. Okay, let's go faction. So 56, they're ranked number 3, strongest. 40 is the number 1. 52 is number 2, and 46 is number 4. So just a brief flip there. It looks like for 1 and 3 for the strongest. Wow, so basically the top 4, this is intense. The top 4 have taken everything. Either taken everything or some of the lower ranked kingdoms just were not able to take anything. Wow, so 56 took a bunch of cities. 40 took a bunch of cities. Who knows? Maybe there's a fight here, 56-40, because again, there is some land being grabbed. 52, which kind of seems like maybe they're just in the bubble position. And then you got 46 that's taken some as well. But you have 40 here that's invaded 46. So interesting here. It looks like maybe 46 could just be kind of like fighting against everyone else, and maybe this is just like a 4 kingdom free for all. I mean, this would be pretty cool if, excuse me, if that is the case. So interesting. So 40 took all their gates, similarly to like we saw server 8 do for their group, right? Except they only took 3 on one side, they took 1 on the other side. It looks like they have the gate controlling going into 46. 46 still has their southern gate. And then you have 52 that has their gate. Got it. Okay. And then we got 56 is on the east side here. But they haven't taken anything going into 40 yet. Doesn't look like 40 is taking a gate here. So they probably could just be fighting it out here in the top left territory, being 55's territory. So really interesting to see this happen. Let's see who some of the top honor guys are here. Dang, Max here from 52, going hard. Don't know how to pronunciate that, but you know I love you. Clint from 35, Lenser from 40. Sorry, wow. So you got 5 guys over 6, 1 guy at almost 10 mil honor. That's bananas. That's bananas right there. Okay, man. Again, if you're in this KvK group, let me know what's going on. Right, I'm super interested. So we got S29 is the next one, and this is going to be group 7. I think I did a pretty good job there, making up some time. Cool, we did. So we made some time up, kept that a little shorter. Okay. There's going to be a few more of those, boys and girls. Okay. Here we go. Damn! Oh my god. Okay. This somewhat makes sense because, okay, so this is going to be another, like, premier group here with S38. Right, you have in this group alone for 7, we have 4 of the top 25 kingdoms. Right, you got 38, they're 1, 45, they're ranked number 5, 54 is 16, and then you have server 48, and they were ranked 21 right at the time. But let's look at faction. I mean, this has to be super one-sided. Okay, yeah, it is totally. So you got 38 here. Above and beyond, bottom 4 don't have anything. Right now, the top 4 kingdoms in the server is at 38, 45, 54, 29. Right, so 48, they're ranked number 6. 63, ranked number 8, and 29 is ranked number 4. Right, in this group, and then 38, of course, is strongest. Wow, so they're just kind of running away with it. It looks like at this point. Wow, so it's only 63 and 40. Now, I'm curious here for this group if, like, what was the plan, right? Because it's not that bad, right? I mean, even though, yeah, I mean, the only way I could have really seen this working is if each of the kingdoms, like, rallied together against it. Like, I mean, this would have had to be like a 1v7, right, in my opinion, for it to be, I don't know if I'd say somewhat even, right? I mean, you could have, like, 38 could have maybe paired with, like, 84 and 63, or maybe, like, 63 or something like that, right? And you could have had 5 to 6 kingdoms rally against them, maybe have it a 5v3 or a 6v2. But even if it was a 7v1, like, I'm really curious, like, what was it? Was it anything like that? And then the other thing is we also have to take into consider, right, is, and this is one of those things that is kind of more like high level consideration, is that we don't really know what level of coordination, right, effort, organization, communication, like how were those kingdoms really working together to kind of like fight any opposition for that matter, right? Oftentimes we hear like, oh, well, it was a 5v3, but what we don't usually take into consideration, because we just don't know for the most part, right, when you're someone like myself kind of just like looking in as an outsider, I don't know those intricate details on what is their organizational setup like, right? How professional is their kingdom set up? How's their communication lines? What's their infrastructure like? What's their response time like? All of those things, right? Do they have some kind of like rapid response team? How do they assign rally leaders? How do they coordinate time zones? I mean, there's so many things to factor in there, but it would be interesting just to hear like, what was it? Right, so again, if you're in this group, let me know, but this is a pretty much overwhelming 38 stomp, it looks like. Let's look how Honor's doing here. So, okay, KvK Rangers, shout out to number 1 Honor guy there from 82. He's in the 5th strongest kingdom here. And then you got Legend X, Bud Spencer from 38. We got Neptune from 82, Legati from 82, so shout out to them. Odin from 38. So again, right, wow, some big honor scores here that we're seeing. Let me know, guys. Again, if you're in this KvK group, how is it going from your perspective, right? I'd be totally curious. So this is 29. Okay, so we need to go to 39 next. And this is going to be Group 8. I think I'm a little ahead now. Oh, I'm right on cue. 35, nice. Yeah, so we're almost 2/3 of the way done. All right, awesome. So for Group 8, this is another big one. We got 57, right there, the number 3 strongest kingdom. This is where we ended up having server 11 and then server 9 for the top and BXS merger that came to 57, right? Also where our boy Jestar plays at. And let's see how this is going down. I'm going to assume they're green. Okay, they are. Good assumption there. And let's show off the kingdoms. We got 57, 47, 70, 43, 41, 59, 39, and 61. Right, the strongest kingdoms in this grouping is 57, 43, 47, and 59. 59 is ranked number 6. 70, which is 3 in faction power, they're ranked number 5, or excuse me, number 6 in this group. And it looks like pretty much kind of a runaway here. 57 taking a lot, them going south. No one's really taking here, so I'm sure probably pick of the litter. 43. I mean, I'm curious here because server 57 is similarly to server 38, right, where their top 5 strongest true power players, their number 5 strongest true power player is stronger than the next number 1 true power player in any of the other kingdoms. A similar thing here as well in this group. Right, where the number 5 player at the time was 266, and then the next strongest was 258, and this was from server 47. So interesting to see where, because again, 47 has all their stuff right now, 70 has all their stuff, 43 is getting a little invaded. Let's see how the passes look. I'm going to imagine that 57 is kind of already swept through. Okay, so 57 is probably ready to try and break into 47. 70 is here. But again, 47 has, or excuse me, 57, my apologies, has already broken into 70 territory. So they're pretty much kind of on both sides of the gates for 47. I don't know if there's an ally thing here going on with 70, and that's maybe a way that they could have kind of already got access or so. Again, I'd love to know, again, are you in this group? Are you in KvK Group 8? Are you one of these kingdoms? How is it going? What's the matchup look like? What do the unions look like? If there are any. Right, how's the feeling going so far? I know, not many players are enjoying, if you will, right, the kind of zone 1 adjacent gates. I know there's been a lot of talk about wanting it to kind of to see how it would work going through kind of a normal progression where we have like the zone 2, zone 3, then you have the adjacent gates open, right, like the zone 2 adjacent, zone 1 adjacent, kind of going in that order. Let's take a look at some of the honor ranks. So we got Laughing 57, got it, okay. Let me see, 59, 61. Okay, so top 6 there. Again, wow, 9.6. That might be the highest honor that we've seen so far. So again, lot, wow. So big numbers, man. Putting in that work, workity work. But yeah, pretty straightforward. I mean, it looks like 57's probably going to run away with this from their group. And then we'll get over to the next one here, which is going to be server 62 for group 9. Yeah, I'm looking for water, but there's none here. All right. Let me take a look real quick. Okay, that'll save me a few minutes. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and go out here so we can look. Again, this is going to be KvK Group 9. Again, breaking into a little over 2/3 of the way through. All right, let's take a look at the map. Oh, wow, pretty standard, actually. It's shocking. Okay, so we got 69, 75, 64, 65, 73, 81, 68, 62. Again, this is Group 9. Group 9 is a little bit closer in Power Gap. We have one top 25 server here in 75. They were ranked 17. And we have the top 4 here is 73, 75, 64, and 69. So 69 number 4, they're number 1 right now. 75 is number 2. 64 and 65 and 73. So they're all pretty standard here. They basically have capped all of theirs, with the exception of 65, who has 2. Maybe that's just because someone got something capped. Doesn't look like anyone's actually broken into anywhere else. Let's look at the gates. So 81, they're ranked number 7 right now, but they have the strongest true powered player in the kingdom here in 81. And that's because, oh, I see. So some of the new guys, I always forget. So new, originally from server 5, right? They were the strongest alliance there for a while until MG eventually took over. There is number 1, and then a bunch of the new players ended up leaving from server 5 and came to 81. And basically it just turned into server 5, basically kind of all over again. At least when you look at it visually from the outside. But they were able to take some passes. They got in. Looks like 69 has taken 1. Interesting. So maybe they did something here with 69 that allowed for them to get access over here to get into 73, because you can see 81 has a pass here. If we go side, 64 has taken their eastern gate. Northern gate was taken by 65 here too. So 65 is kind of safe. They don't really have to worry too much. We have 75 here up top. They have 2 gates taken. They did not take a western gate. And then we have 62. What is 73 doing, though? Interesting. So 73 being the strongest kingdom here, at least based on active power. They haven't taken 1 gate. Either, well, maybe they did, but then it got retook. But it's interesting to see. So, but again, okay. So pretty much a decent stalemate right now. Let's look at how the honor looks here. All right, so we got Rafsta, Marat, 81 for top honor, 9.3 is pretty high. We got 273 is 65. And then 68 here for top honor. Okay, awesome. Again, if you're in this KvK group for 9, let me know how it's going, right? What does it look like? What's going on there with some of the additional passes that were taken for 81, kind of getting as far going south and then kind of west or southwest as they were able to go? Would be really interested to kind of hear how that happened, right? What do the matchups look like? Are there unions? Is it kind of more of a free-for-all, right? What's the play going on there in group 9? Now we're going to take a look at group 10, third to last group, and this is going to be C60. All right, wow, maybe I'll survive without more aqua. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look here, and then again, we'll start off by showing the groups and seeing how they look for the matchups. Where am I at right now? 42 minutes? I feel like I'm doing okay. All right, so here we go. We got 85, 74, 60, 66. 83, 80, 76, and 77. So in this group, we have 2 top 25, or I should say initially, when we took the data, 2 top 25 kingdoms in 74 and 66 at number 10 and number 20, respectively. Now, this group is actually a little bit closer in power when you're kind of looking at like the top 5, so to speak. Maybe top 4 more so. 74, 66, 85, and 60 are the top. So we got 85, they're number 3, number 1, 60, number 4, 66, number 2. So top 4 is pretty much where it should be with the exception of 83. They're number 6 and beating out number 5, which was 77, their last. So pretty much a 5, not even a 5-way, right? You got 85 and 74 that are pretty much running away with this. Now, the strongest true power players here are in 77 and 74. Right, so interesting that 85 being the number 3 strongest kingdom here is leading, but 74 number 1 right behind. Okay, so they've gone both. This is probably 74, it is. So 83 pretty much confined, 66 confined, 80 is getting overtaken a bit, 60 is okay, and then we have... Oh, I thought this was like a shade of blue. I got totally tricked there. I thought they captioned right, let's zoom in a little bit, looking at some gates. So one gate north. For 60, they took a south gate. We got 66 took one on east and west. And then it looks like 83 took one. 74 took both gates going north and south. 85 took a gate going west here. Okay, that makes sense. Like they took one going in. Maybe there's a little fight here. 85, 74. That's happening. Doesn't look like 70. Doesn't look like 85 is pushed here to 60. Though they could. So interesting to kind of see how it's going. Again, if you're in this group for 10, let me know how it's going. Let's take a look at some of the honor ranks real quick and just show that off. Damn! Oh my gosh, this guy is bonkers. Wow, 15.2 mil honor from 83 is just going bananas. Our buddy Alborin, what's up, man? From 77 here. Number 2 on the boards, putting in work. He's got to be close. True, I was going to say he's got to have a strong true power from 77 because Bourne, I know, is putting in some work here. 282, he's the strongest here. And, or at least strongest true power, number-wise, I should say. But interesting, right? Okay, so that's group 10. Let me know what's going on, man. What are the unions there? Who's fighting who? Who's talking about whose mom? Or auntie? Twice removed? That we don't talk about anymore? Let us know. Okay. We got 2 groups left. So I got to go to 79. I think I have my level to count there. Let me see. Oh, hang on. You know what? It might be at the bottom if I remember. It is. Ooh. Interesting. Interesting. Let me do this. I'm going to have to bust out a little MacGyver here. Because I'm not sure if I was able to get this one. Yeah, let me see. I don't know how much longer I have. If not, don't fret. I'm calling an audible currently. Let's see here. Did I? Let me take a look here. Oh no, I was. Cool. I wasn't sure if I actually had this at 15 already. Dude, awesome. Okay. Super excited. What am I doing right now? Okay, I gotta go here. I always forget. Legion of Frostborn. Let's skip. It's sending me the quick battle over here. Let's go there. I gotta go quit, I think. Go to battlefield, confirm. Cool. Alright. 2 secs, bro. 2 secs. And grills. You know, bros and grills. Okay, we're in. Nice. Here we go. And this is KvK Group 11. Let's see how this one's planning out. So we got, right now, we got 78, 97, 79, 72, 95, 88, 91, and 98. So these are the servers there. Faction power, you can see 78 is with lead. And you can see here the top 4. So we got 3 kingdoms in the top 25, right? 79, 78, and 72. The top 4 kingdoms here are 79, 78, 97, and 72. So we got 78 as number 2, 97 as number 3, 79 as number 1, 72 as number 4. So top 4 here respectively, with 78. Looks like taking definitely a little bit more decent of a lead. Let's see how some of the numbers are looking. So we got 79 here that looks like has been able to go north and south into 88. 88 is number 7 strongest. 78 is here as number 2 right now. So, but again, they took over top right, which is 98. They're the number 8 strongest kingdom. So it looks like they're kind of branching it and maybe doing a little bit of split. 97, though, is here. So they pushed west for 97, going bottom left. That's 91. They're the number 6 strongest kingdom in this KvK group. It looks like 78 is pushing out west to 95. Let's look at how the gates are going. Because, again, 97 in this, they're monsters. Like, I mean, it's going to be really interesting because they just have so many strong players there along with Boss Baby. So, 79 took 1 gate going north. It looks like 3 gates taken here for 78. 79 went south. They took 1 gate. So 97 doesn't have a gate here. Doesn't look like they've been able to take either of each other's gates. So I'm sure there's probably just fighting that's going on here in the bottom right corner. Going west for 97, though, they were able... Oh, interesting. So they were able to make it into 72 right? Haven't taken any cities yet, but they got the gate. Wow. And then they made it over here into 95. They're the number 5 strongest kingdom here. And so it looks like maybe 78 and the remaining kingdoms are fighting. 97 here. Again, 78 does have this. So they are at least at minimum able to get into 72. But it probably would be good for them to try and take one of these gates from 72 so they can get into the middle section here. Again, no one has made it into each other's kind of home Zone 1 territory so far, but you can see how far that 78 and more so 97 has really pushed up so far, right? They're basically kind of right at the Zone 1 gate. And then same thing here with 79, right? They're easily kind of in home kingdom if they're able to do a push. But it'd be interesting to kind of see how it goes. Let's look how Honor is looking here in this group. So, yeah, man, Boss Baby up there, dude. Wow, a few people. 3 people over 10. 2 from 97. 95. Could be maybe working with 97. Who knows? Extreme SC putting in some work here from 79. Nikki from 78. Wow, so 3 from 97 here. Really awesome to see for the top 6. That's a lot of honor that they're putting in. Again, I'd love to know what the matchup here is, right? Like, what are they doing for this KvK Group 11, right? Are we seeing, is like 97, 95 working together? Do we have like 4 or 5 other kingdoms that are working together kind of against 97 and or 97, 95, right? What exactly is happening? How has it been going? If you're in this KvK group, I would love to hear, right? Let me know in those comments down below. And then lastly, we're going to go ahead and get to the last group, which is 12. And this is going to be from my 67 account. And let's see here. Awesome. So we're going to be showing off KvK Group 12, the last group. And let me see what my time, how are we doing so far? What am I at, 15 minutes? This is actually not bad. I'm actually going fast because 12 times 5 would be 60 minutes. So I'm technically about 8 minutes ahead right now. So we might end up 5 minutes ahead of schedule. All right. So let's go ahead and get out. But again, time for me, again, most people, if they want to listen to everything, they will. I'm going to timestamp this as well. All right. So this is KvK Group 12. Wow. Pretty one-sided. So we have, let's see here. We got 94, 71, 96, 99, 87, 86, 67, 90. This is intense. So 94 is the 3rd strongest kingdom in this group. However, they have the strongest true power player. They actually have the top 4 strongest true power players, at least based on true power. And then 71 has 1 player here that at the time was stronger than the number 5 player from 94. Right, being 71. 71's the strongest active kingdom here, but they're ranked number 2. So again, that's pretty respectable, right? The top 4 kingdoms here is 71, 87, 94, and 90. 99 is the number 8 strongest kingdom, right? So they're at the bottom. 96 is the number 6 strongest kingdom, right? And then you have 71 and 94 at number 1, number 3. So let's look at how the map looks. And yep, that's 94. Wow, they're just going everywhere right now. So 86, only 2 cities left. 87, only 3 cities left. Let's look at how the gates look. So 99 has a gate here. Interesting. So they were able to come down. 94 does not have a gate anymore, but maybe they're working together, so they might not need that. And 86 was able to come down, or at least cap 1 gate. Looks like they didn't go for the counter cap. Maybe 94 just took their own gate. Again, I'm not sure how that worked, but if it was something where they could have just taken this, probably would have been easier just to avoid the unnecessary garrisons that you would have had to go through. Let me see. 94, wow, so 94 already made it all the way up here. 96, but it doesn't look like they've made it in here yet. Again, unless 99 they share. If so, then they probably already have access. Interesting. So 96 being all the way over here was able to get a gate here. Maybe they're working together, so to speak, to maybe block as much from 94 as they can. Again, would be interesting to hear, right? If you're in this group with any of these kingdoms, let me know how this is playing out. Lastly, let's take a look at some honor, and then we'll wrap it up. Wow. Okay, so 2 over 10 mil. Gar from 99. Who from 67. All right, man. Putting some work in. All right, boys and girls, that is pretty much it. That covers our KvK Season 2, all 12 groups, conclusion, our wrap-up. right? Giving you guys an update on how, or I guess a status update on how each of the groups are doing, who's leading the groups, who's the biggest honor players, right? Who has the most faction power, a little bit of some kind of Legion chat spiciness, if you will, at least from some that we ended up covering. And again, I'd love to hear your thoughts, right? Do you guys like these wrap up kind of update, I guess more specifically, videos? I'm going to be trying to do a few more of these, of course, throughout, right? We'll try and do another one, if not by the time the Zone 2 gates open, to see how that plays out, right? We'll wait to hear some comments from some players that are in some of the kingdoms to kind of see what those unions, what those matchups look like, so I can try and bring you guys that information on the next update video. But that's it for me, right? Let me know anything and everything you guys are thinking in those comments down below. And that's it for me. So as always, until next time, we will catch y'all later.